Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Fully Wired episode number 3. For those that are not familiar with the show, this is something that I came up with kind of on the fly, to be honest with you, but it's a show that I'm very excited about, one that I'm passionate about, and I hope you guys are doing very well tonight. Caution in the chat, I hope you are doing fantastic, my brother from another mother. It has been a while since I've been able to talk to you one-on-one, so I hope you're doing very well tonight. But for those watching later, whenever I export this video, like I said, this is a show where I pretty much talk about what's going on in the world, video games, whether it be big world news, any kind of entertainment, stuff like that. Pretty much fun stories. Of course, today we're going to be touching on a couple of things here and there, but it's going to be a pretty good show. Caution says, I finally beat Far Cry 5. I still have not actually gotten back to Far Cry 5. I do want to touch on that. What have I been playing lately? You know, that's the thing that everybody's kind of, you know, discussing because, I mean, to be honest with you, no one's actually discussing it, but you know what I'm saying. It's one of those things where whenever I stop streaming games regularly, it's because I didn't really want to play anything right then and there. You know, I don't really feel like I'm in the mode to play a game, you know, 7 nights a week or whatever. And so it's one of those situations where I haven't been playing that many games. I bought what do you call it? Burnout Paradise on the PlayStation 4, and I've been playing some of the new season of Fortnite a little bit here and there. It's kind of getting fed up with it. But also Swamp in the chat. Hello, my friend. I hope you're doing very well. But yeah, it's one of those things where I'm just not in like a gaming mode. I don't know what it is, but I've been playing some stuff here and there. I was playing Doom and I was playing Battlefield 1 earlier in the week, and I'm pretty hyped up about seeing what's coming out of E3. But for right now, as far as games goes, there's not really much that I'm super pumped about. You know, to be honest with you guys. I'm excited to see Borderlands 3 at some point in the next, you know, 2 years or so. I'm excited to see what this September's expansion brings for Destiny 2, but right now I'm just kind of enjoying living life, you know, and I've got a video that I think I'm going to put out at some point, maybe tomorrow or in the next couple of days, but it's going to be talking about streamers and YouTubers, and it's going to be getting real with you guys. You know, I think you guys might enjoy that because there's some things that I've got rattling around in my mind, but that's all beside the point. You know, it'll all come out with time. But this week has been a very, very interesting week. Of course, there has been a change of schedule for Fully Wired, the actual core show itself. You know, the thing you're watching right here, right now. Instead of this being 3 nights a week, because I was going to be doing this on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I think I'm going to switch it up and just do this on Fridays, and then we'll do a regular kind of gaming stream on Monday and Wednesday. I might try and put something on Monday nights, but I'm still coming up with an idea for that. But also, Alan in the chat, hello, my friend. Audio only, ooh, man, but hey, at least my audio sounds crispy, you know what I'm saying? But I hope you guys are doing very well, like I said. Today's topic of the show is actually the Yanny and Laurel thing that is going on. I'm sure you guys have heard about this. If you have not, I don't know where you've been for the past couple of, you know, weeks or days, actually. But even the White House made a video on this. So essentially, the idea behind this, also, Dawson, what's poppin', my friend? The idea behind this is that you can hear either Laurel or Yanny, and they're two very, very different things. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you guys have heard of this yet, but it's essentially where, depending on how you listen to it and you listen to the video, you can literally hear 2 different names. Now, I'm one of the weird people that have actually heard both versions of what the video is trying to portray. I've heard both Laurel and Yanny. I don't know what's up with that, but it's one of those strange things. I do like the emote, actually. Is that yours? Ooh, yeah, dude. That's a nice beefy arm. Do you guys see that? Oh, yeah. It's very nice. It's Yanny. Laurel is just toned down Yanny. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So actually, what's very cool is that the New York Times actually put out this tool that allows you to hear both Yanny and Laurel. But there's another one that we'll talk about in a minute, but I did want to let you guys hear this. Okay, so that's what it sounds like. Well, I'll turn down the music all the way. Yeah, it's a badass emo, though.
Laurel.
All right, so now it's just straight Laurel.
Laurel.
All right, so now we're going. Oh God, God, that's awful audio. That's so strange to me, though. Is that not weird? No, we gotta talk about this, Alan. We've gotta talk about this. This is an imperative, a very important thing. So the whole idea behind it, though, is that I'm very interested in how this works. So there's another one. There's another audio file that has been on the discussions over the past couple of days, which is Brainstorm or Green Needle. Now this one is very weird. Okay, listen to this. I don't know if you guys will be able to hear this. Okay, so this one is different. If you literally think about the word brainstorm, then you hear brainstorm. If you need to hear, or you want to hear green needle, you'll hear green needle. It's so freaking weird. It is the audio version of the blue and the black dress. Actually, I thought it was blue and gold, which was even more strikingly different, you know, where it's like you literally saw the dress. Actually, we'll look up the dress real quick. The dress original, I guess, maybe if that's the thing. All right, so yeah, it was like, is this blue or gold? And it's literally something that depends on the light, I guess. This is literally what the original dress actually looked like. So we'll go into this. But for those that don't know what the dress was, it was a big meme kind of internet thing about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, where essentially what it was is that the dress was either gold or it was either blue. Very clearly, this is freaking blue and black. Okay, this is not a white and gold dress. I don't know how you see this as being white and gold, but I'm just saying it is certainly going to be blue and black. But the Yanny and Laurel thing is essentially the same, but with Brainstorm and Green Needle, it's one of those different things where you literally hear both of them. I can very well get away with hearing Green Needle. I can hear Brainstorm in this one. But now the Yanny and Laurel one is a little bit different because I hear Laurel almost 24/7 whenever I listen. I mean, not like I'm listening to this 7 times a day or anything, maybe 9, maybe 10. But I heard Yanny once, and it was weird to me. Like I backed up. I would say that if you guys do want to actually try this for yourselves and get your cell phone out and actually do something with this, depending on how far away from the actual phone you are, then I think that's kind of where the difference does come in. That's kind of where I hear the difference. But Witchy is back. Guess who's back in the house? My friend. What is going on, my dude? Welcome to Fully Wired, the talk show that you have not seen yet. No, I'm just messing. I'm just messing. But I'm so glad to see you, man. Swamp dropping the kegs. Oh my goodness, the tier 3 emote. I don't see it very often. I need to get you something better, to be honest with you. But yeah, very interesting to see these people that can hear different things in the same message. And yeah. Why do people have this much time on their hands, you know? Like, I understand that I have a lot of time. Yeah, it's all frequencies. But I have a lot of time on the hands, you know? I'm able to make content for you guys on YouTube and Twitch and Twitter and all this stuff. What you mean, oh, I've been busy. You've been doing things. I know, you've been living life. It's okay. But I have time to make so much stuff and be, like, on social media pretty much 24/7. Then you have people over here that it's like, this sounds like Brainstorm, but it could also be Green Needle. And, like, really? You really doing this for me? But Witchy in the chat, we're catching up with people's lives. I have 6 weeks of college and so much work left to do. I don't. I finished my my junior year of college on May the 9th, I think. What is today's date? Yeah, 18th. Last Wednesday, whatever that was. I finished a while ago, maybe the 11th, something like that. But I am done with college for the next 1, 2, 3, about 4 months or so. So I'll be rolling more content and also getting out and living life more. I think that's one thing that I'm going to make a video on that tomorrow. But yeah, I've been doing some different things. Yo, Roy, what's poppin', my friend? Welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing it very well. Frequency was a good movie. I've never heard of Frequency, actually. Frequency movie trailer. I kind of want to see this Frequency trailer.
Once in a decade, massive solar storms invade our atmosphere, disrupting global communications.
This is like a quantum leap kind of thing.
John, it's your dad's old ham radio.
Yo, Blood Pro, what's poppin'?
Plug it in.
And causing unexplained.
Look how big I am. What is that supposed to mean? Is that a thick joke?
Hello? What'd you say your name was?
Frank Sullivan. Is this some kind of joke?
That will allow John Sullivan to talk to his father.
What do you say we tame this bronco, huh? You and me, spirit and guts.
That'd be crazy.
Who's been dead for 30 years.
That'd be crazy right there.
But how could it be?
I don't know, but we gotta be talking off the mother-son spot of all time. I've missed you so much.
Is that Tom Cruise?
Tell me about your life.
Hold on now. Is that Tom Cruise? Wait, give me a second here. Who is the cast here? Dennis Quaid? No, it's Dennis Quaid, I think. That's Dennis Quaid, I think. But also, yes, your boy is struggling like a fish in a net up in here. You'll hang in there, man. You'll hang in there. Next week is finals week. Hell yeah. I haven't gotten my article yet, have you? I have not. No, we haven't talked about Thundercats yet, but we're getting there. We were actually finishing up on the Yanny thing, but then we got caught off on the Frequency movie. But best of luck with your finals. We do a talk show on Fridays, but we're going to be doing regular games on Monday and Wednesday as for right now. But I've been in Australasia. This is the first time I've seen you with your cam so big. I'm digging it too. This is actually the new setting. It's kind of like a talk show kind of thing where we do this on Fridays. We have an episode of Fully Wired, which I've rebranded the channel to better avoid lawsuits, but also to kind of make something that's more of a channel. But see, I agree with Roy. It is Laurel as well. But if you guys want to get in on the Yanny / Laurel thing, then we'll talk about that later on, and you can go back and watch some of the VOD as well. But yeah, the Instagram rebrand and the well, not the Instagram rebrand, but the channel rebrand. I think it's going to be something that's beneficial in the long run, and something that I'm really proud of. Actually, I love the way the channel looks now, and I'm pretty excited about that. But Witchy says on Mondays I should be able to do, and Fridays if I don't fall asleep. Hell yeah, my friend. But you know, there's always that VOD if you really want to get in there, and I mean, hell, I'll even let you moderate the empty chat if you want. You can do whatever you want. But the weird thing is that the White House made a video. Getting back to the topic at hand, the White House made a video, and at the end of it, Trump says, "Hold on, we'll just go here."
Definitely hashtag Laurel.
Who's Yanny?
I hear Kofefi.
Now that right there, okay, I don't care who you like. I don't want to get too political. I never get too political with whatever I say on the internet, because I started up a political channel, and that was one thing that I do not want to go back to. But when it comes to owning up to what is happening in society right now, when it comes to talking about Trump and everything that's going on, the fact that you can actually just kind of take a step back, you know, there's a lot of political discourse, there's a lot of political division right now in the country, and you know, everybody's kind of at each other's throats, and again, I don't want to get too far into politics here, but the fact that Trump and the entire White House staff kind of put aside everything and backed up a little bit and was able to just take this moment to have fun, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, I can respect that. Now, of course, this received tons of backlash from everybody that's like, why aren't you focusing on things? This is not funny. This is not a laughing matter. This is not something we should be doing with our time, etc., etc. Everybody's taking things way, way too seriously in life, okay? Everybody needs to take a deep breath. Breathe in with me, Chad. Breathe in with me. And back up and just exhale and understand that you don't have to take everything so seriously. Hashtag I hear Kofefe. That is hilarious. It literally took 5 seconds of his time. That's what I'm saying. But it's like, I don't care about, you know, what he does. I don't care about his life. Whatever. That's all well and good. But what I am saying is that this is the lighthearted kind of thing that I wish more people would take the time to acknowledge and to really enjoy. And you know, like I said, life is too short to be this stressed out, and I am freaking stressed out beyond belief in 2018. You know, there's a lot of things going on in my own life, but on top of that, there's also a lot that's going on in the political sphere and the social sphere and the you know, times overall. It's a very stressful situation. But yes, breathe indeed. Take deep breaths, and yeah, that was one thing that I made a video on Twitter. I don't know if you guys saw it, but you know, yesterday was the big Black Ops 4 reveal. Everybody was talking about Black Ops 4. I have a whole video up on it on YouTube if you guys haven't seen it. But, you know, everybody's been discussing it. Everybody's been analyzing what's going on in the newest Call of Duty or whatever. And then there are people that are enjoying it. There are people that are hating it, as you tend to have with any piece of media or any kind of entertainment or anything like that. But there are so many people that are just being Debbie Downers about the whole thing. They're like, well, like I said yesterday on the video, I can't believe you're still supporting Call of Duty after what's happened with Treyarch and Activision and Sledgehammer and Infinity Ward. How can you be so blind that you are buying another Call of Duty game? It's like, listen, back up. Let people enjoy things, you know. Let people get in there and really just enjoy life for once. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? The royal wedding is tomorrow, yes, not to change subjects, but with that being said, Caution says, I think Blackout will absolutely murder Fortnite and PUBG. I don't know that it'll murder it, because like I said in the video yesterday, Fortnite is free to play, so you have that going for it. PUBG has been on the decline. PUBG has been declining for a while. I think that's the one that's more at risk. Call of Duty is not dead, believe it or not. It's just being kind of rehashed and reimagined. Well, rehashed definitely, but reimagined a little bit to bring in new ideas. The fact that they're allocating those resources for the single-player campaign into stuff like Blackout and a more fleshed-out zombies experience is going to, you know, add some more meat to the experience, I believe. But I think that the main risk that, or the main, you know, entity that's at risk is PUBG, not really Fortnite. Fortnite is going to be on the decline, I guarantee it. Now, this that we're in right now is going to be the summer of Fortnite, I can tell you that. People will be playing that game all summer long, without a doubt, because it's still going very, very strong, and the marketing team behind the scenes over there at Epic Games is doing every single thing right. They are killing it with the marketing for Fortnite. I mean, between doing the Thanos crossover with this new big, what do you call it, the competitive scene of Fortnite, where they're introducing that next week, and they have a new mode that was out today that I played a little bit of and got really, really sick of really quickly. But there's this new competitive thing going on. I think that Fortnite's going to be around for a couple of more months before it begins to decline. Witchy says, I'm going to go to sleep because I've been up for way too long. I love you all and I'll be back properly soon. Hey, man, hang in there. You're doing great things with your life, and I'm very proud of you. Whether you can make it to the stream or not, I'm just glad that you're out there living life and living it up, dude. So more power to you. I love you very much, and thanks for stopping in. It's always a pleasure talking to you. But Roy says, I still think COD should become a more service-based game and just one game with constant updates and expansions. Yes, thank you. That is exactly what I want, okay? That is exactly what I want. Caution says, I didn't like how there was no campaign at first, but now I understand. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. But, the thing is that Call of Duty should become a games as a service, where you buy it, and this is what should happen with Madden, with NBA, with FIFA, especially FIFA. Every year, you just pay $15, maybe $20, and you get a roster update in Madden, and you get maybe a boost of some kind of graphical capability. They just send out an update that better allocates the resources of whatever console or PC you might be playing on. If Call of Duty just was released and it was the Call of Duty game, it was just Call of Duty, and you were able to buy the game for $60, and then year after year you get more updates, you get a couple of things here and there, bells and whistles, etc., and you can pay for expansions, and you can, price microtransactions reasonably. You could actually have a Call of Duty game that is self-sustaining and is something that lasts a long period of time, and it's not one of those things where you have to come out and buy it year after year. Yes, like Warcraft, exactly, where there is a $60 expansion or a $50 expansion, whatever it is, but it comes out, every, 2 or 3 years, and you get a brand new experience within, let's see, Legion came out in 2016, I think. Yeah, Legion came out in 2016, so every 2 years you just get more content, I believe, and then, a couple of additions here and there, but you know what I'm saying. 2016, that's what I thought. I'm also a little disappointed in Treyarch zombies-wise. I've never liked what Treyarch has done with zombies, to be honest with you. I've always understood I've always understood Call of Duty to be the multiplayer shooter. I liked the arcade shooting side of Call of Duty, and I like what that brings to the table. But I stopped caring about zombies whenever the Easter eggs got really intense. The last zombies map that I can remember getting really into was that Mayan pyramid one that was in the original Black Ops, where you had to go around and activate certain things, and it was one of those ones that was getting really into the Easter egg kind of thing. And I'm not a big Easter egg guy. I like just shooting undead things. I made a video, like I said, on YouTube where it's like, we broke down everything that was announced yesterday, and I got to the zombies part, and I said, I just want to shoot undead things. You see what I'm saying? I just want to shoot undead people, and I don't want to worry about anything else. That I don't want to collect your moon rocks. I don't want to find every teddy bear that's sitting in the corner or whatever like that. I don't care. I just want to shoot zombies, okay? Roy says Black Ops Zombies was kind of the pinnacle. It was the original Black Ops, but Treyarch did make zombies, and I feel like, they're doing it well. I feel like they're taking it where the general public wants it to go. I am not the focus group that is trying to plan the future of what zombies brings to the table. I am not going to be the guy that's coming out there saying, this is going to be where they need to take it. This is what's going to be going on. I'm not the guy that they're trying to cater to for zombies. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the core demographic, but I understand what they're doing. They're spreading it out. The 115 song was badass. Yeah, exactly like that. The drums were really good. I had that downloaded on my iPod. Do you remember the iPod? Yeah, no one else does either. Gladiator Zombies seems pretty cool, though. That's what I'm saying, is that it's weird how Treyarch and Activision are beginning to kind of revolutionize Call of Duty by bringing in these new ideas. Because whenever I saw Gladiator Zombies, in the video I made, I compared it to like a Rise Son of Rome mixed with zombies. It's weird. Like, no one would ever have expected that from Call of Duty. It's very strange to see that kind of thing. But at the same time, I understand what they're doing. They're trying to spread out and bring more people into the mix. They're trying to get more people to try out what they're actually bringing to the table. So, it makes sense. But Caution says it all goes downhill when Activision makes a scarier experience than the creators. Beauty of Annihilation. Wasn't that a zombies map? Yeah, it was a zombies map. Annihilation. Which one is that? Hold on. I need to sip that coffee. Hold on a sec. Annihilation. Zombies map. Annihilation. Was it the, which one is that? Yeah, that was the Mayan one, wasn't it? Something like that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. Should be, but they have some really cool stuff. The original Black Ops did zombies the best. They were the ones that really did drive it home. The original Black Ops had the best. Oh, was it Annihilation? I think it was. Something like Shangri-La is what that was. Yes, thank you. I appreciate that. Listen. There are so many of these maps now. I can't keep up with all this. Do you know how difficult that is right now? I mean, every shooter that comes out today has like 17 different maps, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, the zombies, I can't play it right now because, you know, copyright and stuff like that. But yeah, zombies had a really good soundtrack. It's kind of one of those things where the game didn't depend on the soundtrack for Black Ops Zombies, but it was heavily improved by what music was playing, especially 115. There was some really badass times. Actually, fun fact, whenever I started running to lose weight, whenever I was like, you know, a big hefty guy and I was still playing Call of Duty regularly, I would actually listen and run to 115. And I'm not proud. I'm not a proud man. You know, I'm not somebody that is into that kind of thing, but you know, I used to run to 115. I am fit now. I am relatively fit. I try and go to the gym or go to for a run every day. I'm not swole. I am not swole without a doubt. No, that is not a fact. Yeah, no. Like every time you look at the camera, I blush. Hey, what's up? But no, I'm not like that. But yeah, I'm very excited to see what is going on. It's from Black Ops 1 Kino. Oh God, yes, Black Ops 1 Kino, yes. World at War Kino though. That wasn't Kino. That was what was the original? What was the original World at War? Original zombie maps. Yes. What was it called? Nogdirun Toten. There we go. That's the one that I was thinking about. But there was also Der Rise, which was really, really good. That was a fantastic game as well, or a fantastic map as well. Verrucket had some pretty good stuff going on. I enjoyed Verrucket a good bit. Verrucket's probably my second favorite zombies map behind Kino. But I wasn't a big fan of Noct. I'm not gonna lie. I was not a big fan of Noct. But there's a lot to love within World at War. I think that whenever it comes to World at War, you know, still talking about Call of Duty because we all love Call of Duty. I know how much you guys love COD Talk. But you know, when it comes to Call of Duty World at War, it's one of those situations where the game itself, you know, the game of Call of Duty Black Ops or World at War was fine. You know, it had a pretty good campaign, it had a pretty good multiplayer experience, but it really did introduce zombies in a big way, and that's whenever it really did begin to change the direction of Call of Duty as a whole. Night of the Dead, I don't remember. Mob of the Dead, I do remember from Black Ops 1. Shino Numa was a good map. The Swamp map, I thought that was Verrucket. I might be wrong. I'm not sure though. The Mob of the Dead was a fantastic map though. The one that took place with George Romero, that was great. Swamp of the Damned I never played. Is that a thing? Oh my goodness. But Swamp, don't worry about it, man. I will be right here. But Swamp of the Damned, these names, because I didn't really get super into the rest of the zombies experiences, like I said, after Shangri-La, and I wasn't like, you know, super into it back then. So it was one of those things where I began to fall off. But you know, I have World War II on the PS4. I have I think I had Black Ops 2 on the PC. I think I still have it, but no one plays it that I want to play with. You know, the PC community is going to be. I don't think they're going to be able to bring back the PC community for the newest Call of Duty because, I mean, it doesn't matter if you bring it to Blizzard's Battle.net. I don't care where it is. It's still the fact that it's going to be the same salt fest that I experienced on Steam when it comes down to it. There are going to be people there that are going to be so good at the game and also probably a good many hackers. I'm sure they'll crack down on that, but you know how PC gamers are. There are going to be so many issues that aren't experienced on console that I would rather play on PS4. But Caution says, Shino Numa translated Swamp of the Damned. Oh, okay, good to know. Good to know. Now, see, you got all these names and things that I don't understand. I speak English and no other language. Well, I speak a little bit of Spanish, but no comprendo mucho. That's not really, that is not good Spanish. Do not go up to anybody that actually speaks Spanish and expect them to understand what you're saying. I'm sorry. I'm just saying, you're not going to get any headway there. But, yes, I don't know how we got on this topic, but I'm glad we did. So I'm very excited about Black Ops. If you want to hear more of my thoughts on that, there's a video up on YouTube that is about 10.5 minutes long. I think it was a pretty beefy video. But I speak American. I'm not going to go that far to say that. But moving on to a friend recommended even, story. Cartoon Network is bringing back the Thundercats for a new animated series that has this god-awful animation. I don't know. I don't know who signed off on this. I have it muted because, God, that's awful. But they're animating this new, like, it looks like a very stereotypical run-of-the-mill Cartoon Network experience, but they're actually bringing it back. But yes, Roy did recommend this. But yes, it's not the Thundercats from 2011. It's some kind of weird Thundercats. But I will read the article for you guys. The Thundercats are coming back. EW can exclusively reveal that Warner Brothers Animation is bringing back the iconic cat-like aliens for a new animated series called Thundercats Roar, which will debut on Cartoon Network in 2019. Check out an exclusive sneak peek of the show above. We're not going to check that out. The original Thundercats show aired from 1985 and 1989 and followed the adventures of Lion-O, Cheetah-Ra, Panthero, Tigra, Snarf, Willy Cat, Willy Cat and Willy Kit and Willy Cat. Oh my God, what? I've never watched Thundercats, to be honest with you. But the refugees of the planet Thundera, who ended up on the third Earth. While Thundercats Roar plans on staying true to the original's premise and will feature tons of action, it will also lean into the inherent comedy of the world as well. I don't like this because it looks like that bubblegum show, you know, that one that I'm talking about? But yes, it is an old 80s cartoon. This is one of those ones that, like, if you were to ask somebody that's about my dad's age, where it was like between 40 and 50, then you're going to be getting a lot of people that watched Thundercats growing up, or at least knew what it was. But unfortunately, Swamp, I do believe it's going to be like Teen Titans Go. The thing with Cartoon Network now is that they're trying to hit that nostalgia bone. You know, they're trying to really get in there and bring some hype forth by bringing back shows that people loved, like Teen Titans, like exactly a good example. I know they rebooted Ben 10 a couple of years back. They're also bringing back Thundercats as well, so that's pretty much what's going to be, you know, happening here. They're just trying to maintain that same level of excitement and bring in new ideas and mix everything together. But indeed, caution, as a side note, E3 hype, very high indeed. So this is going to be launching in 2019. I know that the internet pretty much collectively was very much so united against this. No one thought that this was a good idea. Everybody wants the original reboot from 2011 to come back because the original reboot from 2011. Hold on, let's check that out. Thundercats. Hold on, Thundercats 2011. I'll show you guys that. Probably going to be worse than Teen Titans Go. At least now people will stop complaining about it, maybe. Indeed, but see, like, just as an example, I don't know if you guys will be able to see this. Hold on, we'll go into the, like, this was the art style. Hold on, this isn't a good example. Give me a sec. That was really weeby. This is a good example of, why is it so small? That's what she said. This is a good example of how the Thundercats were rebooted in 2011. This is good, okay? I'm not a big Thundercats guy. I never watched this, if I'm being honest with you. 2011, I was 7 years ago. Oh God, what's 21 minus 7? That's a division. 13? 14? 14. Okay, fantastic. I'm really bad at math. But you know, I would have been 14. I was not really into cartoons at 14. I was more playing Call of Duty back then. But to see this rebooted like this is fine. I enjoy that. But when it comes to the new one, I'm like, ew. I don't know about that. But yeah, a lot of people liked it. A lot of people did like it. Again, I'm not good at math. But I love the way this looks. I wish this was the look of it. This has a very much so Avatar The Last Airbender kind of vibe going on. And if you guys know the discussions we've had in the past on various streams about classic cartoons, let me tell you, I was a big fan of The Last Airbender. That was some good stuff. But I'm probably not going to be into Thundercats. Like Roy, I've never been into Thundercats, and I certainly will not now. Also, I'm not sure if this is fan art or if this is... Yeah, that's pretty much... Yeah, oh God, that's fan art. I feel like the further I scroll down on this page, the more likely I'm going to get into not safe for work content. So, you know, I think I'm going to stay right where I am right here. But yeah, if you guys are into Thundercats, then keep an eye out for that. Sorry for that loud ass clip. You're going to be getting some more of that in 2019. That is going to be more than likely lackluster. Thundercats 2011 says, caution, the first furry uprising of 2011. Oh God, furries. I don't want to talk about furries. Jesus, please, no. But no, we're not going to get reported here by scrolling down and finding the fan art that is going to have, you know, a giant throbbing Thundercat, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, moving on to the next story of the day. I want to talk about this Bohemian Rhapsody trailer. I'm not going to be able to show it because it's very, 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 very freaking heavily copyrighted by 20th Century Fox. But with that being said, I am a huge fan of Queen. If you guys have been following along with the channel for a while, if you've been, you know, keeping up with me and my personal music taste, if you've, generally checked out what I'm listening to on Spotify, because I think that shit shows up on Discord, you'll know that I am very, very much so into classic rock. I've always been a big fan of classic rock. That's one of the reasons that I wanted to become somebody that does radio stuff, and that's one of the reasons that I tried to get an internship at a radio station, is that I actually wanted to become the classic rock, dude, the DJ. So, whenever I heard that there was going to be a Freddie Mercury documentary, or a Freddie Mercury biopic, if you will, I was very, very excited. And then I realized that the person that is in this is actually the dude from Mr. Robot, okay? I'm looking at this, and Caution says, "Mama, ooh, just killed a man." There you go, finishing those lyrics. What up, baby? But put a gun against his head, pulled the trigger, now he's dead. Mama, I'm coming home. Wait, no, that's Ozzy. What? Rami Malek, I believe is Malik, maybe, stepping up to the task of the larger-than-life shoes. Everybody's doing Queen lyrics now in my chat, and I'm enjoying it heavily. But, the thing that I've heard about this movie that kind of irks me a little bit is that it doesn't give you the full history of what's going on with Freddie Mercury, because the man, as I think reported or discussed on Twitter, something along those lines, the thing that was discussed is that the entirety of Freddie Mercury's career was kind of defined by his open sexuality and his kind of HIV icon-esque, public perception, because that was still very much a taboo back then. It still is a taboo now, if I'm being honest with you. But, of course, the man was largely defined by what he did with Queen and the music that he made and his career as an artist and a musician. But when it comes to how he is remembered, he is one of those guys where you can't really talk about Freddie Mercury without talking about the issues that he went through and the and the medical hardships that he had in his life, and the iconography of the fact that he was such an icon of that kind of culture. So, of what I understand, they're completely stepping away from that. They're completely and totally getting away from that kind of thing. Blow Pro, I'm not exactly sure. There might be, but there shouldn't be. I don't believe there is. I'll check real quick. Yeah, no, it looks pretty good to me. I apologize. All right, fantastic. Glad it's not me then. But yeah, with this, I'm pretty pumped about seeing this still. I know that it's not going to be addressing everything about, his life and stuff like that, but I would love it to I would love to be able to see more of Freddie Mercury and to be able to re-experience or experience again some of these legendary moments of his life, because there's this one scene. I'm glad that you fixed it there, Bro. There's this one scene in the trailer. Again, I can't show it. It's unfortunate, but I export this thing, so bada bing, bada boom. What you gonna do? But there's this one scene where he's at some kind of giant concert, and he comes up and he has his hand like this, and he's listening to the crowd sing or whatever. And the way they shoot this is that it's from the back facing forward, and it's got half of his head in the frame and then the other half is out, so it's like a silhouette of Freddie Mercury really just being an artist, being a performer, being an individual, being somebody who is really doing some amazing work. So of course, like I said, I did want to where's this thing at, what's called Mr. Robot. This is the actor that is portraying the legendary Freddie Mercury. This dude right here. I know you guys have probably seen him before, but I am very, very pumped about that. Caution says in the chat, ISPs and Ajit Pai are really sad about the Senate vote. Yeah, I bet he is. I bet he is, because you were trying to ruin a lot of lives and trying to change the course of the internet. So, you're probably going to be a little bit disappointed in the fact that the Senate did, in fact, knock down the FCC's ruling. But then again, like we said in Thursday's episode of Caffeinate, we still have to go through the House and also to the president. So, it's probably still going to get passed. The FCC is probably going to get what they're trying to get. But that's a topic for another day. I don't want to get too far into that, because, boy, can I go down that rabbit hole. But, man, net neutrality, am I right? So, this is the dude that's playing Freddie Mercury. I didn't really think about it before, before I was interested in the movie itself. But he actually does have a very definitive kind of facial construction. He has a definitive kind of upper lip kind of setup. He's got a really unique face. And so exactly. That's what Blow Pro. That's what I'm saying. I can see him as Freddie Mercury. Weirdly enough, I mean, if you look at Freddie Mercury, I'm trying to let me see Freddie Mercury. I want to see him side by side. Just needs a wig, exactly. So looking at Freddie Mercury, this is a pretty good look right here. Yeah, that's freaking perfect. Hold on, let's do this. Let's bring that side by side, and then we'll bring that up, and then there's Thundercats there, and then we'll look at this. I don't know if you guys can see that very well, But it's like, I mean, that's a pretty good shot right there. You can sort of see that. It's close enough. I'm just going to do that. But it's like they've got the weird kind of like pursed lips, very definitive chin, you know, the eye construction, the nose. It all kind of matches up. So they did very well pairing this man, you know, with the legendary Freddie Mercury. So we'll see how this goes. I think it comes out on November the 2nd. But make no mistake, Freddie Mercury was an incredible individual. You know, you can say what you will about the man, but the dude was an entertainer at heart. The dude knew how to put on a freaking show, and on top of that, he could sing like a god. Another one rides the bus indeed. But oh my gosh, the dude was absolutely amazing throughout his entire career. Is this Borat? What? I'm sorry. Is Borat going to be in this? What? I cannot wait to find out. Maybe he was a contender or something like that. But with this movie coming out, with the Bohemian Rhapsody movie, I would love to see more movies like this that explore the lives of famous artists, you know, dead or alive, whatever it may be. I would love to see more of this kind of thing because I feel like there is a lot of story left to be told within the music industry that is largely left uncovered or covered up rather. So you know, like I see David Bowie down here. I would love to see, you know, some kind of David Bowie movie come down the pipe. That would be amazing. I don't know if there already is one. There might be, but I would love to see something done like the way they're doing this with Bohemian Rhapsody, where you actually back out and you can have an actor portray specific scenes and really create a story that retells what's going on. I can't believe there still hasn't been a Kurt Cobain movie. There are still people that are sensitive about his death, and there's a lot of controversy surrounding that. There's a really interesting documentary on Netflix. It was on Netflix last August. I'm not sure if it's still on there now, but it was talking about the theory that Courtney Love is actually the one that sort of killed Kurt Cobain by not informing people as to his condition, by potentially setting up a hitman to actually come in and take him out. There's a lot of conspiracy behind the scenes there. So that's worth looking into. If you are looking for something really cool to play, I would highly I would highly recommend checking out the Kurt Cobain. I can't remember what it's called, but I feel like it might be. It might be In Bloom. I think it's called In Bloom. I'm fairly sure it's called In Bloom. Samuel Adams, the movie, yes, you better believe it. But yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know if Courtney did it or not. I'm not going to make a statement about that because I don't want that to follow me later on where it's like, Courtney Love killed Kurt. No, we're not going to say anything like that. But the movie itself is fantastic. I was on vacation last year, and I was scrolling through Netflix, you know, just kind of shooting the shit, you know, just looking for something to watch, as you do from time to time on Netflix. And I come across this, you know, thing that my friend had recommended because we're both into Nirvana. Tiff, she recommended it to me. And I started watching it, and I watched the entire thing, and I was like, this is absolutely insane. This is nuts. Like, I was really into it. So if you guys are into that kind of thing, it's not quite a documentary, but it has interviews from police officers that were the first on the scene. It has people that were there when things were going out. It has the original, I think it was the prosecutor or the defender, one of the lawyers, or no, it was a private investigator. It was Courtney Love's private investigator, there we go, that is actually interviewed throughout the entire movie that knows what happened. So, you know, or so he says. Will I say that? But yeah, you can check that out if you would like. But Tupac and Biggie was an inside job. I'm just saying there's a lot of stuff going on there. There was a documentary series on that as well. That came on television. I'm not sure if it's on Netflix or Hulu or anything now. But that was very, very interesting as well. They were very iconic in 90s hip-hop, needless to say. They were pretty much the biggest names, and they're still some of the biggest names in hip-hop today. I mean, you can't talk about hip-hop without talking about Tupac and Biggie, but the thing is that the music that they made is genuinely awesome music. They still made stuff that I care about as somebody who is not really that into the in-depth hip-hop scene. I still love listening to Tupac and Biggie. You know, it's one of those things where they were just really artistic. They were really open about the subject matter, and they were really raw, and it was a really, truly unique way that they presented themselves and the way that they wrote music. So, you know, if you are into any of these things, by all means, check out the documentaries on Nirvana, the documentaries on Tupac and Biggie. They are very good. But I'm excited about this sort of biopic thing with Freddie Mercury because, again, like I said, big fan of Queen in general. But I feel like, Suge Knight was behind their desk? I don't know who that is, to be honest with you. Who is Suge Knight? Suge Knight. Wasn't that the producer or something? Wasn't that the producer? I feel like it was. Yeah, he was the, Yeah, he is the record producer. Yeah, I did see this. But yes, I remember seeing that, and I was very interested in that. I feel like that's probably what ended up happening, but I'm not going to say yes or no. Again, it's one of those things where I'm not fully versed on everything. I don't know the intricacies. If they haven't made a call by now, it's been so many years, they're probably not going to make one if I'm being real with you. But totally worth checking out if you are into those kind of things. But the documentaries are great. Like I said, I would love to see more of these. I would love to see one for Axl Rose from Guns N' Roses, maybe Angus Young from AC/DC, if we're talking about classic rock stuff. But the thing with Freddie Mercury is that he's kind of on the same level, if not on the same level as like your Elton Johns, your David Bowies, where they're not just musical artists. They're not just people that have influenced the music industry. They are cultural icons. They are definitive. Like you can't talk about the 80s and the 70s without talking about Queen. You can't talk about the 70s and the 80s without talking about David Bowie and Elton John. Just amazing. It really is very impressive what they can do. So with that being said, not to get too sentimental, but if you are into that kind of thing, like I said, this is coming out on November the 2nd if you want to check out that new Bohemian Rhapsody, and then the trailer is linked in one of the you can just Google Bohemian Rhapsody trailer and boom shakalaka, there it is. But again, who would have thought the dude from Mr. Robot is going to come back and play Freddie Mercury? That's a big pair of shoes to fill, but I'm sure he can fill them because he's a genuinely good actor. I 100% back that. Oh, when is the Tom Petty biopic? I would love to see that. Probably not very soon because he only died last year, so that would be a little bit tasteless. Blowpro says my mom wanted to go to the Elton John concert in Toronto, but tickets were like $500. Yeah, it's his last tour. Elton John is wrapping up his touring career, so he's going to be spending more time with family. And I thought about going, but it's one of those things where, again, it would be a fantastic show, but that's a lot of dinero to go see Elton John. And of course, I can always just listen to music online. That's one thing. It's like, I understand if it's kind of like a big event kind of thing, but also Blowpro, appreciate that sub, my friend. Welcome to the sub club. I appreciate you very much, my friend. That means a lot. I'm sorry that I had the audio turned off because, it's kind of like, I got a vibe going here, but I love you, baby. Thank you very much. Dropping the big sub. But, yeah, I would love to go to Elton John if I could. Maybe with enough subs, we can. Haha. Caution says, my friend has the big sad, so I'm going to go play Fortnite. You've been wonderful, everyone. Good night. Caution, have fun playing Fortnite. Get some of those hot, crispy headshots for me, my friend. But I love you very much. I hope you're doing very well. And yeah, thanks for chilling, my dude. But I appreciate the sub. Appreciate everybody hanging out in general. If you've made it this far, then you must be truly invested in me and my discussions, because I'm just spewing off words that come to my mind. But isn't that any talk show? So yeah, if you are into this, I would love to see, like you said, a Tom Petty biopic. The Freddie Mercury one is fantastic. It's a good place to start. David Bowie is one that I would absolutely love to see, because that man, you have to remember that David Bowie was also Ziggy Stardust. He had all these different things. Yeah, donation gold, tickets to Elton John. I don't know that I could live with myself. How would I sleep at night if it was like, you know what? I think we're building up to the point where I can go see Elton John. No, but the thing with David Bowie is that he had two alternate personalities that was like, that would be amazing. But no, I'm not that big of a sellout, guys. I'm not that freaking big of a sellout. I'm not going to make a donation goal to get tickets to see Elton John. No. What do I look like? What do I look like to you people? Actually, by the way, guys, side note, for audio listeners, I apologize. But I got this sweet hoodie, okay? So it's essentially like a beach kind of retro wave scene. You see what I'm saying? I'm a big fan of this. I went to Goodwill today. It's actually a thrift shop, and I found this puppy for $4.98. And the inside of the hood also has this same kind of design. I'm very, very, very like I'm liking the way this looks. Also, Blur Pro says you look so effing hot. I'm literally salivating. There's your salivation. Donation goal. Pay for my vacation. Yes, please. I would love that. But yeah, I love the hoodie that I got, and also, like I said, the hood itself also has this in here, huh? Yeah, you like that? I bet you like that. It's very nice. Also, a little bit toasty whenever you start talking fast and have lights on your face. So it is what it is. But yeah, very comfortable hoodie, and $4.98, can't beat it. But moving on to the next story of the day, mother changes son's name after botched tattoo, or after the botched tattoo spells it wrong. Are you guys ready for this freaking story? A mother's effort to honor her young children went terribly wrong when the tattoo she got of her son's name was spelled incorrectly, so she took what some might call an unusual approach and named her son after the tattoo. Kevin, the 2-year-old son of Joanna Sandstorm of Sweden, Joanna Sandstorm, I'm pretty sure is a porn star name, was renamed Kelvin after a tattoo artist inked the wrong name on her arm. Can we talk about that for a minute? Below Press says, last time I watched it before vacation, you were going to buy a Twitch tank top or something. Oh, I have a shirt back there that I'll wear at some point on stream, I promise. But yeah, I didn't get the tank top, I got the t-shirt. I can't believe you remember that. But Sandstorm told local newspaper, that's a weird name, that she was devastated after she saw the name was wrong. I said I wanted the names of my children tattooed on me, and I gave the artist their names. She said, according to The Independent, the artist drew the design and didn't ask anything about the spelling, so I didn't give it any more thought. The mother, who also got the name of her daughter Nova tattooed, said when she got home and saw the tattoo, my heart stopped, and I thought I was going to faint. When she returned to the tattoo shop, the tattoo shop, Sandstorm claims the tattoo artist laughed and said the only thing he could do to fix the situation was give her a refund. So then she realized that I had never heard the name Kelvin before, she said. There isn't anyone who names their kid Kelvin, so when I thought more about it, I realized that no one else had this name. It became unique. Now we think it's better than Kevin. Sure you do. Sure you do. You don't just name your kid Kelvin, but I mean, at the same time, you know, she has a daughter named Nova, so it is what it is. But there's the picture of the tattoo. I thought that you guys would enjoy this. Nova and Kelvin. Oh, God, that's just, And then it's like one of those things where later on in life, you know, she's going to come back and the kid will ask, Mom, why is my name Kelvin? And then it'll be like, well, the tattoo I got was wrong. And, oh, wow. You work with a Kelvin? Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? That's amazing. But see, Roy, at least they didn't change his name to PlayStation 2. I would love to be named PlayStation 2. Northwest, a hilarious name as well. But I mean, you got to remember Kanye, you know. Yeezy. But it's hilarious to think that this is actually a thing that happened. The fact that somebody just got the wrong tattoo and renamed their kid, you know, that's kind of crazy to me that we have that going on. But, you know, I digress. To each their own. I can't really complain. You know, it is what it is. If you want to live that life, if you want to be that kind of person, then by all means, you can name your kid Kelvin and get a tattoo, and we can just forget that Kevin ever existed. But I thought that you guys would enjoy that, and also, I don't think I could ever live with myself if I got a cursive tattoo. I mean, maybe it's just a taste thing, like a different you know, preference or anything like that. But like a tattoo that looks like this would just never be on my body. Roy says there's a man in the UK who changed his name to PlayStation 2. That's amazing. Do people call him that? Do you go into a job and you get a name tag that says PlayStation 2? That's a really good idea until you realize there are going to be other PlayStations coming down the pipe. Ooh, feels bad, man. But the next story of the night says meditation is like a human's way of clearing browser cache. The 25 most profound shower thoughts on Reddit from last week. I don't really want to read through all of these, but I thought this was pretty cool. But we will look through some of these. Meditation is like a way of humans, you know, clearing browser cache. Waldo's parents are probably worried sick. Somewhere someone is salivating over the PlayStation 5 logo and how to distinguish the 5 from the S tastefully. Intentionally trying to lose the name of a game of rock, paper, scissors is just as hard as trying to win. Did you ever think about that? Huh? Getting another set of teeth would be much more useful at age 60 rather than at age 6. That would be pretty cool. 200 years ago, recording sound probably seemed as ridiculous as recording smell does now. There's at least one person named Laurel out there who's really tired of every other person calling them Yanny this week. Art is how we decorate space. Music is how we decorate time. I'm done with these now. But the one that I really wanted to kind of drive home is the meditation is like a way of clearing a human's browser cache. I thought that was pretty interesting. But if the man named PlayStation 2 as a kid, his name could be PlayStation 3. It very well could. It very well could. I want to look at this guy who's named PlayStation 2. Who is guy named PlayStation 2? I want to see this. Oh my goodness. Hello. What is that? Hold on. Where is this man? I want to see. No, he's gone. Where? I want to see a picture. What is this? Saddam Hussein was once rumored to be stockpiling thousands of PlayStation 2 consoles for weaponization. The rumor proved false and also stupid. Okay, then. Okay. But I want to, man changes his name to PlayStation 2 on February 28th, 2002. We all like games. You wouldn't be reading this, and we wouldn't be writing it if we were not in this case. Some of you and some of us are obsessed by games. There are a few people in our office who have forsaken everything. Love life, social development, physical well-being, and other hobbies and interests to play endless hours of Final Fantasy, Gran Turismo, Konami's football games, at all the really good stuff, you understand? Obsessing over the nuances of every single aspect of the groove system in Capcom versus SNK. Oh my god, this is an old article. SNK2 has used up many an hour or in the pub after work, we are sure you have comparable taste. There is, however, another step for the over-obsessed gamer. There is in the UK a man who now goes by the name of PlayStation 2. Mr. PS2 decided this should be his name from now on, seeing as he was spending around 4 hours a day. 4 hours a day playing his beloved console? 4 hours and you change your name legally to PlayStation 2? That's so weird. Dan wanted to take things even further. I joked about marrying a PlayStation and asked a few Vickers if they would do the service. He said in all seriousness, they didn't seem keen. I don't understand. It's just for filthy cats. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're going to be getting your name changed to PlayStation 2, you're telling me that you're not going to at least play for 8 hours, 9 hours a day, make it a full-time job? This man isn't even hitting streamer numbers. These are rookie numbers, guys. These are freaking rookie numbers. I mean, I'm not really that big of a gamer, like going hard anymore, but let's back up. I can go hard, okay? We're being real here. I can go hard, but I don't that often anymore. So, you know, I can't believe this dude's named PlayStation 2. Roy says, I spent an hour on a Vita. My name is now PlayStation Vita. For the record, though, if you just named yourself Vita, depending on what area of the country you're in, and on top of that, what ethnicity you are, then Vita is kind of an acceptable thing. But we'll see what goes on. I love the idea of somebody being named Vita, though. Maybe the middle name could be PlayStation. Maybe the middle name could be PlayStation. It's like, what's your first name? Vita, last name Adams. What's your middle name? PlayStation. Boom. Vita, PlayStation, Adams. Probably not going to happen. Probably not going to happen. But can you go hard at the Hardys? I can go hard at the Carl's Jr. How about that? Is that close enough? I feel like that's close enough. But yeah, what is this? Oh yeah, the blue and black dress and things like that. But I can in fact go hard at a Hardee's. But to kind of wrap things up, you know, for the night, I did want to do something that was you know, at least mentioning what happened today, because I feel like it's something that should be addressed at some point or another. But there was another shooting in Texas at a school. It was a Santa Fe school. 10 dead, 10 hurt, and many are not surprised that it happened, as the article says on the New York Times. I was debating on whether or not to talk about this because, you know, I try and make all of the shows that I do. I try and make every piece of content that I make something that's positive. You know, I try and make everything, you know, as you know, I try and bring a sense of kind of escapism, you know, where people can escape the hardships of everyday life, and people can get away from whatever they've got going on in their lives and everything that's at the forefront of society. You can get away for a while, and you can just come here and share the love of games. You can come here and play a game or whatever and just have a good time, and we can all hang out and have a good time in the chat. And we do that. But there are some things that happen where, you know, for me to just gloss over this, for me to just, you know, nonchalantly not acknowledge the fact that this happened would be wrong. It would be something that I wouldn't be comfortable with. So I wanted to, you know, take a moment and at least, you know, pay some respect to the people that have been lost. There have been a lot of discussions. I saw Fox News discussing actually blaming gaming, as they tend to do, where they said that the man that did this, or the boy that did this, whatever you want to call him, 17 years old, was a big fan of violent video games like your Call of Duties, your Battlefields, everything that every, you know, high school kid plays in 2018. But there was a discussion about the fact that he loved video games and played those, but his parents had no idea that anything like this would ever happen. And this is one of those situations where I understand where that perspective is coming from. Like, I can see where they're getting that from, but you have to understand that there are so many other factors in play in every other section of life that you can't just blame it on that one specific part, you know? Fortnite caused this? Probably not. But they always blame the games. They do blame the games. And it sucks because no one sees the good the gaming does. That never gets any kind of media coverage. Of course, just a couple of weeks back and throughout the entirety of the summer, and I think the majority of 2018, you know, you're going to be having things like Awesome Games Done Quick, Summer Games Done Quick. Guardian Con is doing a giant-ass thing where they got Ninja involved, they've gotten Dr. Lupo involved, and they've raised, I think, over $1 million at this point for St. Jude, you know, where it's like helping kids with cancer. And it's the hashtag gaming does good, or games do good, or something along those lines. I think it's hashtag gaming does good. But no one ever focuses on the good parts of what gamers do. No one ever focuses on the benefits and the plus of the gaming industry and the benefits that it brings into society. No one ever focuses on that. It's always about the violence. It's always about what it could be, and taking the blame off of the fact that our society is at its core in 2018 really freaking messed up, okay? That's really, you can't blame one specific thing. You can't say, this is why we're having a whole bunch of issues. This is the one core reason. You know, it's kind of like if you step on a screw, you know what's wrong. You stepped on a freaking screw. You know, you've got a giant shard of metal in your foot. But when it comes to stuff like this, where you have people that are anxious, you have people that are stressed, you have people that are looking for a way out, and you have people that are just mentally breaking down and are frustrated with society and are just, you know, messed up individuals. You have a whole bunch of different factors closing in on these people, and you can't just blame gaming. You can't just blame gun control. You can't just blame politics. You can't just blame society. Everything comes together to have an impactful experience. I just wanted to get that off my chest. You know, I just wanted to say that on a stream, and then, of course, I'll export this to YouTube, and, you know, it's just one of those things. But you can't blame games. You can't just blame games. Like I said, you can't just blame guns either. There's a lot of issues that are coming in from every aspect of society, and when it comes down to it, it's unfortunate, but it's the times we're living in right now, and there's not much we can do to change that on an individual basis. Now, we can put good back into the world. You know, that's one thing you can do. You can just be a genuinely better person and better yourself overall. Swamp says the news rarely talk about good about games. Plus, when they do, they talk about games. It is very short. It is because it doesn't get viewership. No one cares about games. You know, whenever you're talking about your Fox News, your CNN, it's mainly old people that are watching CNN and Fox News. So they don't really care about gaming, and they would rather look at it from a negative perspective as compared to the positive perspective that the majority of us actually look at it through. So, you know, it's one of those situations where as time goes on, more studies are going to be done. More studies are likely going to show that there is a correlation between those that, particularly tend to do these kind of acts, these horrendous, you know, murders. There are going to be people that do that, and there is going to be that correlation between the fact that they play games and they have done this thing. But everybody plays games. I literally don't know anyone in my life that doesn't play a game of some kind, ranging from my mother playing Candy Crush to people playing hardcore, you know, MMOs in my life. Like, I know people that play games all day, every day. And there's a big difference between what's happening and in society, because the games are becoming more and more popular. It's not that people are playing more games and becoming more violent. It's that violent people are playing video games. So, you know, again, my 2 cents, just my opinion on this entire situation. I'm just saying that that's my 2 cents on the situation, and I'm just putting it out there. But again, you know, with the Texas school shooting, I did want to at least mention the fact that it happened. It's a thing, and we should all, you know, take a moment to realize that this shouldn't be the norm. I shouldn't see this and nonchalantly blow it off. You know, I shouldn't be, you know, not surprised. I saw a clip of some girl on a lot of different news stations, but she was asked if this was shocking, which was very disgusting to me, by the way. The reporter was like leading her on, trying to get her to say something emotional, and I think that's sick. I think that if you're a journalist and you do that, you should probably have your license revoked, or like whatever you have for licensing in journalism. But you know, she was like, she was being asked if this was something that shocked her, if she was surprised, and she said no, that she figured it would happen at her school in some way, shape, or form at some point in the line. What kind of society am I living in where a freaking 12 or 13-year-old says that they are not surprised that 10 people have been killed in their school and 10 people have been hurt? Like, what? I don't get that, you know? I don't get that. But moving on to happier news. Speaking of hardcore MMOs, when is the next Warcraft stream? I was thinking about that today, okay? I was thinking about that earlier in the day, and I was like, you know what? I should probably get back and play some more World of Warcraft. I know that if Mayana happens to be listening to this, which she may or may not be, but I know that she was very excited about the fact that I was playing WoW. So I might try it again over the weekend and see if it's something that I can get behind and see if it's something that I might be interested in. But indeed, journalism in 2018 is definitely going somewhere. That's one thing that it's like that's one thing that it is where it's like I've been, you know, going to school for journalism for like, you know, about 3 years now in college, and I was like, you know, I wanted to be a journalist, but now in 2018, it's like, do I really want to be a freaking journalist? That's a negative, Ghost Rider. Thank you very much, peace. But, you know, we might do that. I have not leveled in the last month, though. I have not played since the last time I streamed it, and I think that I was on Mixer. I might have been on Twitch, but I have not played it since the last time I played. But if I do play Swamp, absolutely, you may join. I don't have any kind of guild or any kind of knowledge of what I'm doing, but I know that I'm Horde, and I know that I was just doing general quest, but This weekend, I probably will not be playing too many games. I've got to design some stuff for next week's episode of On the Topic Up because I'm redoing all of the graphics for that. And then I'm going to be hanging out with my family a little bit because my mom's out of town. I have to keep up with things around the house, do a couple of chores here and there. And I'm going to be, kind of just picking up some slack and do stuff like that. But, oh, you did catch up with me. Okay, I forgot who did that. I wasn't really sure. But also, Blood Pro, have fun in New York. That's going to be fun, though. It's going to be good, assuming that you're not going there for, like, a parole hearing or something. I don't know what you're going there for. But that wraps it up for tonight's episode of Fully Wired. I hope you guys have enjoyed episode 3. I'm going to be popping on out of here because I am going to go hang out with my dad for a while. We've both had a long day, so I thought that I would spend some quality time with him. But yes, indeed. Roy says, I like the neon sound effect in the drop. I appreciate it, man. I was a big fan of that as well. I thought that I would change that up and redo some of the graphics. But Blood Pro, I'm glad you enjoyed the show. I'm glad you enjoyed the show, but I'm glad you enjoyed the show. And yeah, it's been a long time coming because, like I said at the beginning of it, it's one of those things where, like, streaming games is great, but I wanted to try something different, and I wanted to bring something new to the table that was uniquely me and something that I was really good at and something that I was passionate about. And so being able to at least once a week, come together and talk about crazy news and talking about things that were going on and talking about ideas and memes and trends on the internet, I thought that it would be good to have a variety show where we just discuss things, and it's kind of like a podcast where we just all hang out and talk. I like talk shows, and I like talking and sharing ideas. So, I know that it's not going to be everybody's cup of tea. I know that not everybody is going to be a big fan of what I bring to the table with Fully Wired, but it's still something that I'm passionate about, and it's still something that I enjoy way more than just constantly playing games. I like just having discussions and being real and having deep conversations. That's kind of what I thrive in and what I love. So I'm glad you guys enjoyed the show, but I'm going to go hang out with my dad for about an hour or so because I'm sure the old man's probably going to get some sleep. You know what I'm saying? But Blur Pro also says, yeah, I saw you talk about it on your Instagram story, but now that I've seen it, I get it and I like it. Yo, see, why did I hit my shoulder? You've got to see it to believe it. You got to see it to understand it. But I love you guys very much. Swamp, I appreciate it. Blow Pro, appreciate that sub, by the way. Very much so. You guys are fantastic individuals. Thank you again for checking out what I'm bringing to the table. But I love you guys. Have a great weekend. And I might pop in and do a little bit of a Stream-a-Lamb at some point in the weekend. Maybe tomorrow at some point. You guys, keep an eye on the Discord and the Twitter because I've got some free time. So we'll see what goes on. But Roy, good night. I hope you guys have a great one and peace.